I want to share with you all today a excerpt from a motivational clip that I listen to every day. If it's your first time watching one of these videos, building in motivational clips, music, songs, quotes into your daily diet is, I think, super important. So when I talk about daily diet, I don't mean food, I mean your mental diet, the information that you take in, which should be both educational and inspirational. So it's an excerpt from a clip that I like. I want to share it with you, and then let's discuss it. So never give up. I've shared for some of you in the team this before, but there's a particular clip or part of it that I find myself listening to over and over again.
To just throw that right, to just give up. You don't have that right to just throw in the towel and say that it's over for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand that the reason that you are existing in this world right now is because you have things that must be done, and only certain people are qualified to take it to the level that it needs to be taken to. For there should never be a limitation to wherever it is that you are seeking and how far you are willing to travel and how far you are willing to go. Sometimes people...
Just that part. I'll play it for you once again. That's the most powerful part of this video that I replay multiple times when I'm feeling in a state of anxiety or stress, or I feel the stress that's being placed upon me is too heavy for the shoulders that I have.
Taken too. Certain people are qualified right now is because the reason that you don't understand that you. Ladies and
So I want to add some context that with parts of speeches like this, what it reminds me of is all of the people around me whose lives I want to change and why I do what I do and what it's for. And as you listen to this, I want you to think about the people in your life that you love, to include the naysayers, because there'll be people that don't really understand what you do. And I want you to just mull over the path that we're on right now with what we're trying to cultivate in terms of our minds here.
say that it's over for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand that the reason that you are existing in this world right now is because you have things that must be done, and only certain people are qualified to take it to the level that it needs to be taken to. For there should never be a limitation to wherever it is that you are seeking and how far you are willing to travel and how far you are willing to go. Sometimes
So one of the things that I remember my niece Federica, she was visiting, she's my wife's niece, in fact. She was visiting London to see her auntie, my wife Daniela, about 10 years ago. And at that time, maybe less actually, about 5 years ago. And I'll always remember us being on a balcony and we were talking about my work ethic and my approach. And she at that time was doing a internship. So some of you will know Federica because you'll know her because she worked here for a little bit. Some of you will know her from the Pearl Lemon Placements page because she's on there. And we were discussing work and life. And I just recall that conversation when we were discussing her ability and her potential. And I just will always remember saying to her, as I'll say to you, I'll say, you've been given this gift of seeing, you've been given this gift as talent. For you, there's no answer other than but to live a hard life because it's your duty to help transform the lives of others around you. That's why you've been given this gift. That's why you have this time. So there's no question of giving up because of the difficulties of the path, because of the knockbacks and the setbacks that you face. And I said that's why I do what I do. I said God has gifted me with some level of ability and talent, and I see it as my fucking responsibility to use that to help change the others in the world, to help shape other people around me. And I do that by setting an example, and I do that by instilling that standard in others. So I'm not here to live an easy life. I'm here to create easy lives for others. And that's the purpose. That's part of my purpose. That and I said that you've got that ability as well. And I said that means that if you do anything less than throwing all of your energy into transforming yourself so that you can transform others, it would be a fucking travesty because God or your creator or random circumstance has given you this level of ability. You have to use it. Of course you must. Don't look at others or shirk upon them because they don't see what you see. Be the example that you want them to see and seek to change their lives even in absence of them not seeing what you see because otherwise it's just selfishness. So that clip always gets me because he said there must be no limitation to how far you are willing to travel or how far you are prepared to go. And we all have this gift that lives inside of us. And it's this gift of being able, through the force of your will, if you choose to activate it, to fucking bend reality around you. I never really understood what that meant until I got past my 30s. And I'm happy that I am still learning that lesson right now. I wish I had learnt it many years earlier, but I'm here and I'm beginning to learn it now. And I've seen it come into practice since I've started Pearl Lemon and I made decisions that I would build a certain life. I would want to have a particular kind of woman. I wanted to have a particular kind of lifestyle, and I would make it happen through the sheer fucking force of my will. And then I would help change the lives of others around me. And part of that is why I was talking to Shania, for those of you that know, she's my niece. I was saying I had to work real hard to have my nephew Aaron come here because I wanted him to see what I see. And Shania is here, and Aaron's here, and my other cousin Jay is here, and Gary's here. So one of the things that I understood was that if I am able to live up to the, if I am able to live up to my potential, then I can help change literally the lives of my family around me. And I can make them as rich in mind as I'm attempting to become rich myself. And I know that everything else will follow. And I feel, and that's one of the reasons that gets me out of bed in the fucking morning. I feel, Deepak, you've been given this gift. You cannot fucking shirk upon it. It's your fucking duty to live a difficult life because that's how you will change the lives of the people that you love around you. So for me, it's irresponsible to be anything less than excellent in anything that I do. And that's what that clip reminds me. It's your duty, it's your obligation, and there must be no limit to how far you are prepared to go if you want to change the lives of others around you. And to do that first, you must be a fucking phoenix and rise from the ashes because we must all be reborn, break down old beliefs, build new ones, change ourselves. And in doing so, along the journey, you can change others. You've all got that ability. And what I want to have fucking burn inside of you is understanding what unlocking that ability can mean for the lives of the people around you. Because in the end, that's much of what we do things for. It's a very difficult concept to get your head around when you're 20, 22 years old because you don't think of life in those terms. You think about yourself. because you've only been on this planet for 22 years. But that doesn't mean anything because I've begun to understand as I grow little bits of wisdom as time passes that wisdom, as Charles will sometimes say to me, isn't a function of your age. Because Charles will sometimes say, Deepak, there's a wisdom that you have that belies the age that you have in life. And wisdom is a function of depth and how intentional you are with the time that you have on this planet. Because life is short, opportunities are plentiful, and only very, very few people in life will grasp all of the opportunity that sits in front of them. And I want that to be all 32 people in this room. I want it to be everyone at Pearl Lemon. And I do believe that it's not a case of should I, would I, could I, but must. I think it's must. I'd say, well, you're here and you're here for a reason. And you turn up to these meetings. It's not a question of should I do it or should I wake up at 5 a.m. or should this, should that. I'd be like, you've got an obligation to change the lives of the people around you. And that means that people need to see what you see. And the reality is people see different things. So some people just need a conversation to see what you see. Some people need to see the Ferrari to see what you see. So different people need different levels, different flags, different totem poles, different symbols of success. So go after fucking all of them because that's how then you can carry everyone with you. You can carry everyone with you. That's one of the things I want to convey. I want to share with you the other section of another video that is similar to this. So I want to, whilst I find this song, I want that to burn inside of you because it was one of my visions 6, 7 years ago. Even when I was 14 years old, my teacher would say to Mrs. Proud, my 14-year-old GCSE teacher, I wasn't doing GCSEs, I was doing my SATs at the time. And she asked my mum, Sita, to come in, and she said, your son's gifted. He should do all of his exams early. All of them. He's the most gifted boy we have in the school. And I'll always remember that then I went on this journey and there were challenges because the school, the academic system that I had at that school didn't have the ability to teach me. They didn't have the teachers, they didn't have the resources. My school shut down 3 months later and I had to change school. We were the 14th worst school in the country or something to that effect. Something stupid. You know, kids selling drugs at 11 years old, kids bringing in knives, all of, and it's fine. There's, I don't begrudge that because it's been my life and it's helped mold me. But I'll always remember that my mum said, yeah, but he doesn't do the dishes when he's at home. And it was such a trite thing to say. And my mum had no sense of appreciation or care for what that meant. And at the time, I was angry with my mum. I felt hurt. I didn't articulate it as anger and some semblance of resentment that translated into a lot of the adolescent clashes that we had. My parents married at 11 and 13. Shania and Aaron will know this. But my mum stopped having the ability to teach me when I was about 12 years old because she couldn't help me with the books and that's fine. And to your point, Ali, as I've grown in life, I've developed some of the wisdom to understand that how arrogant was it of me to make those suppositions about people that didn't see what I see because I grew older in experience and some level of wisdom to understand that Deepak, your mum was 11 years old when she got married. Your mum was 15 years old when she had twins. She was a child raising children. How arrogant of you to assume that she's going to look as far reaching into the future as you and to understand that kind of gravity. But that shouldn't change the way that you want to help change the lives of others because you need to look beyond that because it's your responsibility to look past people's perhaps at times short or nearsighted conceptions. And that lesson has carried with me because I knew that getting Aaron to come here as my nephew, as I was saying to Shania, it took some convincing because I understand that it takes time for people to share in your vision, and it takes time for people to peel back and unlearn all of those challenges that they've faced or been built up. But that shouldn't stop the way that you want to deliver for others. And in doing that, you first need to begin by transforming yourself. So there will be people, for example, that need to see different things in order to come around to your way of thinking. So that's why part of this is your duty to transform yourself. And with that, now I found the video and I'll share with you the clip that part of this video that inspires me. Give me a second. So guys, I'll share my screen and I'll share with you another favorite person of mine outside of Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Conor McGregor motivation. So Conor McGregor, for those of you who don't know, is a very, very famous professional mixed martial artist, and he grew up in a poor area of Ireland and was going to be a plumber, and decided to change his life. And I just want to share with you some excerpts from this video as well.
It's never, I mean,
What makes you such a good fighter?
um, I don't know, I'm just curious about it. I'm curious about it. It's never, I mean, it's in my head 24/7. There's nothing else I can think of. I don't think about nothing else. And that's it, I'm just curious. Curiously fascinated with it, and I can't stop thinking about it. Everything I do in my life is related to this. I don't do nothing else if it's not got to do with fighting. You know what I mean? And that is why, you know what I mean? To be truly
Is
good
that
at something,
nearly-
all you've got to do is show up.
Is that not unhealthy?
I want you I want you to listen to this part.
I don't know. Do I look unhealthy? Take a look at this physique. I'm in phenomenal shape, in body and mind. To me, what's unhealthy is living an unhealthy life. To me, what's unhealthy is getting up and going through the same day every day of your life, 9 to 5, in an office or in a, you know what I mean? That's unhealthy. That beats your mind. I don't work. I love what I do, and that's why I'm doing what I love. You know what I mean? That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. I mean, it's my life. I'm enjoying the fruits of my hard work. Nobody works harder than me inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I am a workhorse, so I'm going to enjoy the benefits of this life. I'm going to get myself a big mansion in Las Vegas. I'm going to get the soft top cars. I'm going to bring my whole team out. I'm going to spoil them and give them this life. Big steaks that size, we're eating every single night each. We're eating good, we're living good. It's human nature. Some people will sit and take positivity from that. They will look at that and take inspiration and inspire. It will inspire them to go and push for that. Others will shell up and critique it and be negative towards it. But one thing is sure, those people will stay where they are. The people who take inspiration from it will rise up and also one day experience that life. So this is human nature. Some go one way, some go the other way. But I am enjoying my money, my hard-earned money that I have dedicated my life to. I was always getting pestered. What are you doing with your life? You're doing this, doing that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what MMA was. They didn't know what none of this. They didn't know I could make a career out of it. As far as they were concerned, man, that's as far as they were concerned, I was getting into a cage.
I sped it up by accident. For me, and I think that's the real, today at least, the parting message that I want to leave you with, that for, in that instance, Conor McGregor, and with some of the inspiration that I draw from, it's to just transform the lives around me. And I see the way, and therefore I know that I can do it. And I feel it's nothing less than an obligation to make that happen. And there's a sacrifice that I must make to give Daniela the best life possible. And whatever anyone around me thinks about that is separate to the dedication that I put into this path. And I want you all to be the same because some of you are now on that journey of beginning to wake up earlier, or maybe you're working later. Not everyone around you is going to understand the bigger picture. They're not going to see what you see, which is why, even more than ever, it's your obligation to help them see it and help them manifest the change that you're going through in your life. And it begins here, it begins now. And that's for me why, as the first video said, there really should be no limit to how far you are prepared to go. Because it's not about you. It's about all of the people that you love in your life, to include the people here around you in this call right now. Every single person in this room has the power to change the lives of hundreds of people around them. And it all begins with that sheer force of will and to be able to bend reality to your will by your self-determination to seek out excellence in every aspect of everything that you do, work as well as life. That's it today, guys. Let's go around and get people's takeaways and thoughts from some of the things that we discussed. We'll do we'll do 5 people, and then from there, people need to, of course, head off to commence work. Then no problem, you can head out. But let's take the first 5. Everyone stay for that. So yeah, just put your hand up if you'd like to go. Aaron, and then Ali.
Something that you've said that's really stuck with me is you're not the journey you're on at the moment. You're not really doing it for you. You're doing it in order to change the lives of the people around you and the people you care for. And when I heard you say that, if I'm being completely honest, it made me feel something. Like I understand where you're coming from and the upbringing, the childhood you've had, and what you want to do for your family and the people you care about. And I think that's really inspirational, and it's something I look up to and want to mimic in my journey of development.
I'm excited for you. Thank you. I'm really excited for you. I know, and you might not know, don't tell your mum, my sister. I know that you know that Gandhi and Steve, to a degree, experimented with working alongside me, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So the reason that they did that, the reason that Gandhi did that is because she's not incredibly happy at her job. She's not got the pay rises that she has sought. There's a lot of stuff that she has challenges with. That stuff fucking upsets me. You've got the power to change her life. 100%, buddy. 100%. Imagine, and it's not about talking and convincing your mum, and that's what I tried to do for a long time. I just saw that I have an obligation to achieve such a level of success that I can say, you know what? Fuck that job. You work in a job where you're not getting recognized. You put in a ton of hard work. You've not got the promotions that you sought, and you feel trapped by it. So you don't know that. I know that because that's why she got involved in Pearl Lemon Properties briefly for a while. And it upsets me sometimes that I've not made it work because I love her, because she's my sister. And of course, I want to fucking change her life. So she's part of my motivation, buddy. I wake up every day thinking, oh, you know what? I'd love to change my sister's life. I'm on that journey because I went from being 28 years old even and being, oh, Deepak, he's doing his backpacking thing and he's traveling and he's fucking, borrowing money here and there from mum and dad and he's trying to figure things out and he had this talent. He was at Deloitte. He could have made it work. Now I'm paying for all of the fucking dinners when we go out, £500, £700. Now I'm fucking bringing them out on holidays and I'm paying for everything. Now I'm flying them out for my wedding and they're beginning to see. What they don't see is that I'm just fucking getting started. I'm just fucking getting started. I'm going to change all of their fucking lives. and they're never going to see it coming. And that's okay because it's my duty, my obligation, because I've been given this gift, and therefore I've got nothing, no other option but to succeed. And just you feeling that is the biggest gift I can give you, mate. Because then you just become a fucking warrior with everything that you do. Because then the people that you love, the people that fucking raised you, they will, you will give them a gift that they cannot conceive of the power that you have. And I'm really, really happy to hear that. And yeah, your mum is part of, my mental vision of why I'm doing what I'm doing because I want to change her life. I never want anyone that I love to be unhappy with the things that they do and to feel trapped by the things that they do and to have issues with, okay, well, we can't afford to do X, Y, Z because of this and that problem. And the only way I know to achieve that is through excellence, which is why I wake up every day. So thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that, mate. Let's go to Ali.
Yeah, so actually, I was about to say something else, but this has brought me to remember my parents as well. They're right now in Saudi Arabia, and they're with my brother, and he's traveling. So there is a struggle over there, and I'm planning to go back to Saudi Arabia just in a month or so. So the thing is, as you say, I just figured out that staying in here is not good for me because I'm not doing anything in terms of activities, in terms of helping them, in terms of being part of the family. So I want to travel, go back. I want to go there, help them, share my whatever I can. I'll share the burdens, and at the end, I would like to take all the burdens because it's going to be easier for me. I'm young, I can do it as compared to them. So yeah, it's honestly, I see my life changing. Now what I do is I'm with my wife and she's going cooking. I start a video on let's suppose yesterday I start a video on ads because I remember Deepak saying, hey, when your family goes does something else, you start studying or you start doing your work. It makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is these videos are honestly working, honestly helping, changing the way we think. I was so tired. I was so tired today. I woke up in the morning. I had a meeting with the guy Faizan, right? Because of
Mm.
yeah, communication training and so on and so forth. Then I realized that why not invite other people? I'm struggling, no issues, no issues. I'll struggle, but that's okay. Because if they find it useful at the end, at least they will remember me because I want to leave something, some legacy, something behind me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it happens. I have one video on YouTube, right? And it was on Axel, right? I create a simple project over there. And till today, people come to me and talk me about it. Hey, that is nice, thank you, and so on and so forth. It's 13 years old video.
Wow. Amazing.
But yeah, you're leaving something, and when you leave something, obviously, right now the way I am, I'm not gonna leave anything. But if I try and convey some messages, at least I'll be inside some people's mind. Obviously, I'm not
That's
sure
it.
whether I'll die tomorrow or no, but I am sure that some people will remember me through this. So yeah, it's
Amazing.
helping. Thank you. Yeah, all good.
Amazing. Look, family where it isn't is such a huge thing, and it's amazing that you want to go back. And I'm glad that it feels like an obligation. Everyone just needs to broaden and strengthen their shoulders in order to be able to carry the load. I see it as a fucking obligation. I look at what my parents have done for me, and I think, oh man, my dad's, I don't know, 67. Amazing, great, good. I've got 20 years to change his life beyond his wildest imaginations. My sister, everyone, and it's no. People will say, why? And of course, I said, well, why not? Why not? Is it not better to be? It's not even about ambition, and this is the thing, and this is where it steps away from the specific mechanics of, it's the fuel that sits underneath all of the things that I want us to attack and to learn and to grow and to develop. Because as you said, what legacy will I leave behind? How will I touch the lives of the people around me? And in the end, it begins with what's in here, and then that fuels everything else. So I think that's fantastic with the wake ups, with inviting others to the calls. And even if it's just Faizan who turns up, and everyone should fucking turn up who is close to Ali and everyone else, even in telling others you'll change yourself anyway, because I'm changing with you, Ali. I'm changing. I'm growing. I'm seeing the inconsistencies in some of the things that I do, and I'm beginning to level up. The hills that I run are harder. I am attacking pain more. My television consumption has dropped dramatically, even though Daniela's not here. I attempted to watch something yesterday and I couldn't find myself being able to watch it because it felt too inconsistent with the words and the messages that I communicate. So I say you should say it to yourself and then speak up to others and then attempt to live it, because then in living it, you'll begin to believe it. And so the virtuous cycle fucking follows. So this is why people say, why do you speak about it? Because I say it to myself and then I speak about it with others and then I attempt to live it. And then at some point I begin to believe it. So even if no one turns up to these things, Ali, you're going to change your wiring yourself. And I've seen it happen. It's taken me 7 years to be in a position financially to be able to even bring on people in my family. And it's such a humbling experience. And of course, over time, I want to retire my whole fucking family, which is why I say that the responsibility that everyone has here at Pearl Lemon, because we're a flat company, we have a horizontal structure, there's no, we have the clients here. I want to build $1 billion company. Why? Because I want to take care of all of my fucking family and I want to change their lives. And I'll absolutely, like Conor McGregor says, he wants to give his family the steaks and the cars and the planes, the jets. He wants to take everyone with him. I want to do the same fucking thing. And that's what makes waking up every morning at 4:30 a.m. worth it. Because it's like, well, why? It's like, well, no one else is going to fucking do it. So I'm going to do it. Let's go to Zayn, I think, and then Dutch, and then Evan.
So one thing that I love is the mindset that I'm not struggling to change my life only. I'm struggling to change others' life also. Like if God gives me a talent, it's my responsibility to work hard. I don't have any right to give up. So I need to make uncomfortable me now if I want to be comfortable in future. So
Yeah.
I don't have any right to make lame excuses that I don't have this, I don't have that. There's no any excuse that I make to myself because it's my responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
only one thing that differentiates you from others is only your mindset. Your mindset transforms your physical actions also. So we need to change everything first here, then we can change this world also.
Yeah. Thank you, Zayn. Thank you for speaking. I really appreciate that. It's nice to hear you speak up. All of my Pakistani brothers, I'd love to hear from all of you. So thank you for that. And agreed. Things changed for me when I moved from understanding that it wasn't about opportunity, it was about obligation. I thought, oh, well, how am I going to change Shania? The only way you change Rian's life forever is you change yourself. You don't want him. I know where you live. I know where we're from. You don't want to fucking stay where you are. You don't want him having to scramble for a fucking council house or maybe get a semi-detached one-bedroom house in Ealing, and that's the sum of his fucking future. I've seen versions of that happen with my brother. I see the path that his kids are on, and I see it because of decisions that he's made. And there's no convincing him of change. So I just need to achieve at a level so big that I'll just financially, for example, change his life for him. That's the only way that's going to happen. Because my brother, of course, doesn't, and this is the opportunity that we all have. Some people will never come around to this way of thinking, or they'll pay lip service to it, but they won't live it. They won't live it. Like fucking live it. And that's why it becomes an obligation for you, Shania, for you, Zayn, to change the lives of the people around you. I can't. It would be arrogant. Like when I was 14 and my mum said he still doesn't wash your dishes, it would be so fucking arrogant of me to expect people to understand. I'll try and make people understand as best as they can, but at one point, I've got to just put my head down and really, really, really just work my fucking ass off. And on that note, I'm going to Dutch come to you, but there's another video that actually speaks about this directly that I also listen to. I'm going to, because this is the part that everyone has to go through outside of these meetings, and this is what everyone has to be prepared to do. And that's where the extremely difficult work comes in. And I think this video articulates why, the first minute of it.
Sometimes you got to take a break from just about everything, disappear, come back, and shock the world. I'm talking to that athlete. I'm talking to that administrator. I'm talking to that nurse, that doctor. I'm talking to that student. I'm talking to that communicator. I'm talking to that pioneer, that inventor. I'm talking to that entrepreneur. I'm talking to that preacher. I'm talking to that person who refuses to stay where they are. I'm talking to that person that doesn't have a problem laying in obscurity, because you know that when you come out of the dark room, all eyes on you. We live in a culture of busyness, distraction, and noise. And sometimes the only way something's going to change is if we disappear. Sometimes you gotta delete the app. Sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to fall back into the dark room and focus on you. Everybody wants destiny. Everybody wants manifestation. Everybody wants fulfillment. Everybody wants the next level in the relationship and a higher quality of living. But nobody wants to eliminate distractions. Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and get into a place where you can focus on just you. What if you could just shut out every distraction? What if you could just shut out the world for just a season and focus on you? A man is rewarded in public for what he does in private. Can you unplug for just a moment and focus on you? Focus on what matters.
That's another video that I listen to quite a lot, and it reminds me of all of the things that I need to do outside of these meetings and all of the stuff that I need to do for myself that no one else is going to give me. So let's go to Dutch and then Evan.
Yeah. So guys, this call reminded me of a video which I recently saw. That video had two parts. In the starting, there's a construction worker who is working really hard. His hands are all dirty, and he's having a dry bread, right? And in the second part, there's a video where he is dining with all his family in a nice restaurant or a place. So the caption for the video was, "I work like this so that we can eat like this," right? So it doesn't matter what our parents have done for us, and it's time to question what we can do for them. And the biggest motivation for me is specifically for me is to see my father growing old, right? And he is still working, and this is what motivates me. At least if we cannot be motivated for ourselves, we can see our loved ones, and instead of questioning like, why us, why me, why do I have to do this? Because the simple answer for this is because we can, because I can, right? Because I have everything. I'm in my perfect age to do something, to make a difference, and that's what motivates me. And this entire call was really helpful, and I guess I'll keep these things in my mind.
Amazing. Thank you, Dutch. It sounds brilliant what you want to do for your father. And if that's what is required for you to put in the necessary work, then amazing. I salute you. I commend you. It's beautiful and it's brilliant and it's absolutely fucking right. So yeah, it's not even, as you said, I can and I must, because he's changed my life. Now I'm old enough, I can fucking change his. Amazing. Evan.
The thing I think I saw something a while ago and it stuck with me, which was a guy speaking about, is the depth of my consciousness a blessing or a curse? And I don't know the answer to that, but from what it seems and taking away from this call, the definite answer is you can make it a blessing for the people around you.
Hmm.
It's simple, but I think it summarizes a lot.
Yeah, amazing. I think it is it a blessing or is it a curse? And you can make it for the people around you. I find that my willingness to do the work that's required to get to the levels I want to achieve in my life have grown significantly when I understand that I can change the lives of the people that I love.
Mm.
And I think about my sister, I think about Shania, I think about Aaron, I think about Rebecca, Gary, Jay, my mom, my dad, and I think, oh, okay, I must. It's like no question. Pain. What pain? I must endure. I must endure because I must. And yeah, it for me changed the source that I was able to draw from when it came to the work that I need to do to achieve these things. So thank you, Evan. It's brilliant. Shania.
I think, sorry, for me, it's we've all had hard lives.
Mm,
I think, obviously, in some form, everyone suffers from some sort of childhood trauma, family trauma,
mm,
um, any kind of hardships. But it's inspiring to hear when you say, just when you speak about yours in conversation, like it's something normal. You're not using it as an excuse. You're not using the fact that your school closed down as an excuse for being lazy and sitting on your fucking ass.
mm,
And
mm,
if you had used that as an excuse, you wouldn't be where you are today. And you wouldn't be able to inspire the rest of us to not have that mindset. So it's using that pain, like the conversation we had yesterday, giving into the fear and allowing it to consume you, but for the right reasons.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. It's fuel. It's energy. And the moment we become adults, and some of us become adults very, very early in our lives, earlier than we'd like. But what's past is past. You're in control of your future. Resting upon excuses only holds you back and doesn't serve you in helping others. I agree, Shania. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I'll take two more people and then we'll wrap. Okay. We'll wrap. Okay. Yeah, we'll go Troy.
Cool. So just listening to that, and I really like gained some valuable information just from, especially with the old beliefs and how they can often hold you back, and that's something that I'm kind of trying to work through and trying to understand myself. And I think that, like you said, with maybe previous things that might have happened in the past, that can ultimately, when you create like a house, you've got bricks, but necessarily they aren't the correct bricks to hold the structure of that house.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think that it's important to address that and make it very aware that that brick that you want inside of that house needs to be the correct brick that can hold your structure and hold the position that you want to be and the place that you want to be in your life. And I think that, the silence is either the loudest noise within the room, which can be a bit contradictory, but I think that having silence and saying nothing can often have like the biggest effect. For
Mm,
example, being completely silent and not being aware of yourself and what you're capable of doing can have the loudest noise by disrupting things in your life, by not being able to afford the nicest house, by not being able to, you know, purchase the things that you would like to do, or being able to provide for your family. But at the same time, silence can also be the loudest noise in the room by saying, taking the time away and withdrawing yourself and being silent, you can also have the loudest noise in the room by
yeah.
just taking the time and working on yourself and there you have it. By taking the time to look at the bricks that weren't properly fitted and rather put the correctly fitted so you can have the stronger structure and you can hold everyone under that roof and you can provide for all of them.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, sometimes you need to rebuild yourself stronger. And a lot of that work happens by yourself, always by yourself. So I absolutely agree. Anyone who needs to head off, by the way, head off because you've got things to attend to. So no problem. Look, we will wrap now and we'll go full circle and we'll re-listen to, as I said, that section of the video that drives me forward. And on that note, we can wrap things up. So I'll just share it again.
Right to just throw in the towel and say that it's over for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand that the reason that you are existing in this world right now is because you have things that must be done and only certain people are qualified to take it to the level that it needs to be taken to. For there should never be a limitation to wherever it is that you are seeking and how far you are willing to travel and how far you are willing to go.
Guys, enjoy your day.